Malala, a lot of people know your journey and your fight for education. People not so familiar, perhaps, with your journey and your relationship with sport. How do you describe that over the years?
I have seen sports as part of education right from my school time. And I remember in school recess time when boys would go off to the local cricket playground and girls had to stay behind. So from that point onwards, I knew that sports was something that girls did not have easily access to. So I have valued every opportunity to be able to play sports. But then came into my life this wonderful, amazing person, Asar, who has worked in cricket. We started this new journey together. We have been really passionate about following women's sports specifically, in how powerful it is in changing and challenging stereotypes around how women and girls are seen. So that's how this journey of an interest in sports began.
And so you are announcing the launch of your new initiative, Recess. What is the aim? What targets have you set up to this point?
So we started working on Recess 2.5 years ago. And we were looking for an opportunity where we could bring in our expertise, our platform to benefit women's sports in general, just because of the lack of investments, lack of opportunities. Still, we have built an incredible team of people who are professionals, investors and experts who believe in women's sports as a business opportunity and who believe that women's sports can help us promote gender equity.
Let's talk specifics. Are we going to see you in the NWSL?
I think what we've seen in the NWSL is amazing. It is definitely an area that we are exploring and will be exploring. It is one of the most exciting women's sports leagues out there. So yes, I think you will see us hopefully soon.
WNBA?
Yes, I think these are these are sports that have actually reached that developed level, and there's just huge potential in how it could be invested in, but also the reach is wide, and it can help us really test the economics and the mission side of our work.
So you're very much looking at the established leagues for women's sport, but there's kind of a two-pronged approach here, isn't there? Because we've got the development of the women's sports and the fight for equity and equal pay, but then you've still got these massive parts of the world where girls and women are fighting just to be able to compete. How do you marry those two issues with Recess?
I had the privilege to go back and run a cricket franchise about 2.5 years ago in Pakistan. And I was part of a leadership group, and we were young, and we were like, okay, if we have a chance to run one of 6 cricket teams in the men's cricket league, that's probably the only biggest sports league in the whole country, watched by literally the whole country and the cricket fans. We should do things the right way. So we went to just set out and find the best people to come and run those teams. And the best general manager that could come and run that team was a woman. We knew that there's going to be an unnecessary criticism, not just based on what's happening on the field, but, what's online. But like in that season, we started winning, we won. I think we won the most number of games on the league level. We qualified for the final. We lost the final on the last ball, but that was fine. But the online commentary was then, we should hire these women for the national men's team. And, so I think it was also great to see that you could use sport to push, you can show folks, you don't have to say anything. You just show it by hiring a more equitable team and getting the results.
Should we be expecting all female athletes to have a view on everything, when a lot of them just want to be athletes and put all their efforts into being the best possible athlete they can be? Where is the balance, in your opinion?
So I have been following the journey of amazing female athletes right now, from Caitlin Clark to Ilona Maher. And I know these sports because of these incredible female athletes. I think they have a huge impact without actually saying much. So I don't think we need to ask them about every topic and every issue. The fact that they're on the field and they're on the court is already changing perspectives. It's empowering girls. It's sending a powerful message to women, to all of us, that the sky is the limit and women's sports will thrive. We will have more equal opportunities for women and girls. And we can imagine a world where girls are empowered. They can have the confidence, and they can decide they can choose their own future.
Because you've seen the Alona Mayer effect.
Yes.
Kind of up close. You went to watch her play in Bristol.
Yes, we did, and it was around Valentine's Day. So we were like, why would we go to a nice restaurant? Why don't we just go and watch Ilona Maher's game? We went there, and it was truly surreal watching the crowd and how the stadium was full, and people were still waiting to see Ilona after the game in that freezing cold for 2-3 hours, and that was the effect of one female athlete, and I'm sure there are so many other incredible female athletes who have followers, girls, boys, families, and I think women's sports is attracting a much wider, bigger audience and a more inclusive audience.
And it was just like a live representation of what Recess sets out to do. You can have a firm that, have a platform that is looking for outstanding investment opportunities, but you can have the mission of gender equity alongside it.
There has been an issue in terms of women's rights in Saudi Arabia, who are making huge strides into sport, but the questions are being asked because of the limitations and the human rights concerns. What's your view on that and the role of sport somewhere like Saudi Arabia?
I think sports can be a really powerful way towards gender equity, not only in Saudi Arabia, but the effect it has on the whole Muslim community. I do not believe that for any country, if they do one thing towards gender equity, that now they have ticked the box. I think there has to be expectations from everybody that it's a true commitment to gender equity. At the same time, I also believe that it should not just be seen as a symbolic act, but that women should actually be in the decision-making positions. They should actually be in the management so that they can drive for real change. And these are like not one-off opportunities. So that's what my hope would be.
And we're here in one of the most turbulent political times in the world at the moment. What do you see as the role of sport and women's sport at a time like this?
I think about young people and how their lives are at risk, how children are killed, they're starved, and girls' rights are taken away in Afghanistan, and just looking at the tensions around the world, we can only hope and pray for peace and encourage everybody to put down their weapons and think about the hope for humanity. We are capable of dialogue. We are capable of coming together. And sports in history, in the current times, have proven to be that powerful way of bringing communities together. We could be competitive, but at the same time, when the game is over, we can hug each other, shake hands, and just recognize that we're all one humanity.